Alright everybody, my name is Shane Reiner. I'm one half of the team known as Dark Figure Productions. My partner back there is Mr. Andy Crozier. He's behind the camera. We started out, it's been almost 2 years ago. We got hooked up with Mr. Crawford. He took his tours that he was giving to everybody, and he was a little under the weather, and he went ahead and weathered the storm and went through some of the stories for his great DVDs. We just put out a second DVD this time last year where we jumped outside of Claremont County. We did one story in Claremont County. We covered Owensville Village Hall. We went to Columbus and covered the Lofts Hotel. We went to Westwood Town Hall down in the city here in Cincinnati. We also went to Lancaster. We went to Hawks Tavern at the Mill, which is the building there predates Civil War. So this is a very, very old building. We went to Ye Old Trail Tavern in Yellow Springs, and I know I'm missing one somewhere along the line. Hopefully I remember as I keep talking. What we're doing right now is we're gearing up for our third DVD. As Rick Health recovers, we've picked up another host by the name of Greg Fuller. What we did differently than we did on the Crawford DVDs is we went more heavily on getting personal accounts as well as some recreations, because everybody who seems to watch anything on TV, they expect the big recreation. Like, I don't know if they need something to put it together or if what we're saying isn't enough, but that's what we've been doing so far. This year we're hoping to get started on Volume 3. We've got a list of stories that we're trying to cover. We're hoping to go to Prospect Place. I don't know how many of you saw that Taps went there. That's up in Trinway, Ohio. It's above Columbus. We are trying to do the Loveland Castle. We are trying to make our way to the Moonville Tunnel. We had a commitment to do it last year, but the tunnel changed hands from the railway station over to the Park District. So we're hoping to go there as well. And on our travels, we've had all kinds of crazy experiences. We went and filmed with Rick down at Pond Run Road. If any of you don't know where that is, it's very close to here. It's just about across the street. We went up there and filmed with Rick and some of his friends, and we came back later that night. We said, oh, well, we'll film it dark. We want this to look scary and everything. I donned the Hookman garb, because the Hookman is the story that goes along with Pond Run Road. One person who saw that story has moved off of Pond Run Road since seeing that. So we are making an impact out there. But we went out there, and it is just pitch black. I mean, you can't see anything anywhere. And I'm dressed up in this costume, and my partner Andy's got a battery-powered lantern, and that's all we got out there, besides our camera. So we put me out on this bridge. And my partner Andy, he is probably 100 to 200 feet in the opposite direction with the camera. Now, as we were getting ready to film me walking across the bridge, we heard a crashing in the trees around us. It almost sounded like something was in the trees and was like either falling, and we heard like a thud, like something had fallen through the branch, like a person or something heavy. And we just looked at each other and we said, we better hurry up and get this over and done with. We looked for people to see if anybody else was there. We called, and there was nobody else around. When we were in Utopia with Rick, he had a lantern. His lantern it was like a base made out of wood, and he had a long candle in it. And then there were glass all around it. So he lit that, and as we were up there filming, he turned around, and we were finishing out. And this candle was white, and there were red drops all over this lantern, like it was blood. And we couldn't explain it because it was on the inside. There was nothing that was showing up on the outside. We went to Owensville Village Hall on our second DVD. As we were upstairs filming up there, I saw a shadow move across the room. There's no way that shadow could have moved across there. There's no way it could have been a reflection off of a car. There was nobody else up in the building or even in the distinct area that we were at. I've had an experience myself. Before we got started in any of this, my dad was painting a house in Georgetown, Ohio. This is an old Victorian house. I was 15 years old. My dad drugged me out of bed to go to work with him that day because we had a day off from school. And the lady who owned the house, she had taken a picture of the house, and a man with a handlebar mustache appeared on the porch. So she was really, really surprised about that, and she couldn't get anybody to work on this place. So it was my dad, one of the people working with him, and myself there. I didn't go upstairs because the upstairs was all filled with bats. But at the end of the day, my dad told me, I need you to put these ladders down in the basement. And the basement has like those Wizard of Oz Dorothy doors there. And I thought, well, this is no sweat. I still got some light and everything up there. So I go and put the first ladder down there, and I hear a kid laugh. And I look all around, and okay. And then I take the second ladder down, and I can hear children laughing, and there's like those plastic tricycle bikes, and it's going in a circle around the room. So at that point, I'm at the top of the steps throwing ladders down, and I got out of there. So I didn't come back again. They went back the next day, and the same thing happened to his partner, and they didn't return. What my dad told me happened a few years later, the lady had an exorcism on the place. It was originally like an infirmary or something like that. A lot of people had died there. An exorcism had occurred on the property. Property was cleansed, and that they had replaced everything. It looked like a brand new house. You wouldn't even be able to identify it now. If I had the chance to drive on the road, I probably wouldn't even know which one it was. But that's kind of what sparked the interest when we started to go to do these DVDs. I started remembering these things. Started thinking, man, I want to go to Utopia. I want to go here, there, everywhere. And Rick was the gateway to get into there. What we're trying to do right now is spread the word as much as we can about who we are and what we do. We have a website, darkfigureproductions.com. You can find clips of our videos on your YouTubes, MySpace. I mean, there are over 10 video services hosting video clips from things that we've gone and done and seen. We're filming today for our YouTube clips to try to keep getting the word out about who we are and what we're doing. We're hoping to do another DVD with Rick Crawford in the future. It won't be next year, but it'll probably be in the future. We're trying to talk Rick into it as his health improves. And we're just thankful to be here and have this opportunity to speak to all of you. So if anybody's got any questions, you can ask. So that's about all I got. I didn't know I couldn't top Rick. So. Yes, it does. If you go there, it'll take you. You can click on. There's about 6 different clips there, and it'll take you to a YouTube channel, and you can go select through. I believe we have 12 to 14 clips. Yes, ma'am.
Was this on a bridge?
Yes, it was. It's on a bridge. If you're
How far from 52 would that be?
If you start heading up Pond Run, you'll go through a 4-way stop. And then you go up a hill, and then the first bridge you hit right there is that bridge. It used to be a wooden bridge.
That's where everybody used to go parking. Supposedly the story was told.
That's right. That's it. It was a parking spot.
That was the story, Kathy.
My older siblings told me this story. Yeah.
That's right. It was a parking spot.
Claw or something at their windows.
Yeah. Definitely. That is the spot. You would just head up there. The bridge is still there. You'll notice it's like almost like a fielded area. There's maybe one tree. If you were coming up from 52 and going up Pond Run, it'll be on your right-hand side is where you'll see the one tree in the open field.
So this is a real well-known place where things happen.
It is, yeah. If you're from this area, you've definitely heard about it, probably from the 60s all the way on through.
Not me.
Have they ever traced it back to figure out who this Hookman really is?
What I've been told and what I've read is there was a young man who he was not quite right, as I guess a way to put it. And back then they didn't treat people the same way they did. They'd give them the medication or institutionalized. He was staying down in his parents' basement. He was so active they had to kind of chain him down at night, so he would not take off and get in other people's things and things like that. So what supposedly happened is the house caught fire, and the parents got out, but they didn't unchain him. So when they went to go back through the basement, his hand was left, but the rest of him was gone. So that's where the legend of the Hookman came from in this particular area.